Hola and welcome to a new episode of the Roofless Dog and Pony Show. My name is Julio Panicello. I am the dream alchemist at Roofless Painters, a free-range art school and gallery for creative nomads of all stripes. In each episode, we feature the theme of our next painting collection so you can learn what we will be painting and the reasons why. We discuss the origin of the painting theme and its contemporary context, and we explore different possibilities for visual representation on our work using images of paintings throughout art history as inspiration, citing stylistic and historical references, and we put it all together, and then we make this presentation. In many ways, our episodes are like our paintings. Messy, unpredictable, and varnished. You just never know what's going to happen and what we're going to say. But you can find all the episodes as video on Instagram and also on our YouTube channel, Roofless Painters. And also you can find them as podcasts on any podcast platform. You just go anywhere you listen podcasts from, and you just type the Roofless Dog and Pony Show, and we will pop up, and then you can just listen to us while you are trying to fall asleep. It works the best. So and also you're welcome to contact us with any questions or comments about this episode. You can do them live or in any of the video platforms that we're gonna post this. Anything that you can contribute, maybe we have missed something. We always tend to be corrected, so we appreciate if there's something that about this subject that we're going to talk about today that you wanted to contribute to the episode. So I think this week the episode will be very short because we don't have many paintings to show as examples. But this week on Tuesday, we were having a wonderful time at Trails Cafe in Griffith Park. The weather was beautiful, and it was just so nice to be painting there with a fantastic group of people as every week. And someone brought up the Buy Nothing Day. So we forgot exactly how the conversation started, but someone brought it up. And we were interested. We thought this was the day after Thanksgiving because we're very familiar about the anti-consumerist holiday after the consumerist holiday. But no, so she was referring to a place in a social in Facebook actually where she would just buy free stuff and also put up free stuff to donate and to give away. And she was explaining anecdotes and histories about either her buying stuff, or acquiring stuff, or just meeting people, or just putting objects out there for anyone to grab. So we just thought it was so interesting and fun that immediately we thought maybe we could do something about it, and that's exactly what we're gonna do this week. Based on that conversation, we just started thinking and reading about the effects of consumerism, about artists trying to create work that speaks of anti-consumerism as a means to heal. So there's a lot of conceptual stuff around it, but I'm going to explain the actual concept of this week, which is sort of like tied with the time that we're living through, because during the lockdown and pandemic, at least at the beginning, there were many people who lost everything, or many things. And there were people also that wanted to get rid of a bunch of things because they were finally at home, and then they just decided, or they realized that there was way too much stuff around them. So the confluence of these two different aspects made people just go to these marketplaces or these places where everything's free. And the one that we are aware of, because sometimes we just get the feel of going there, is the free stuff place at Craigslist. So sometimes when we're spending way too much time online and we're either trying to buy something or maybe just look for something, the free stuff place inside of Craigslist apparently became this meeting point of humanity in which people from different positions met, whether they lost everything and they needed to build something from scratch, or they had way too much and they just didn't bother to go through the trouble of pricing and shipping and stuff like that, and they just put out whatever they wanted to get rid of. So we found a couple of articles and blog posts that are very funny and interesting, and we just highlighted a few things that I'm going to read. But essentially, last week we painted cluttered clusters, and we talked about how our digital world is trying to de-objectify our reality, and how objects reflect this idea of continuum, of being anchors to real life. So the paintings are amazing, and it was a great conversation around trying not to fall into this digitalization of the human spirit, because it's just gonna make us be disconnected from this wonderful reality that is around us. So we feel like this could be a take two, perhaps, because the premise would be to go to Craigslist free place and pick one of the images that are showing there among the hundreds of objects that people are trying to give away for free. And that's going to be the visual reference for our paintings. So we brought some examples of stuff that we found on the free section of Craigslist, and we're just gonna download the images and whatever speaks to us, and we're just gonna, instead of like going there and getting them, we're going to paint them. They're gonna be the subjects of our paintings. And so before I show you some examples, I just wanted to show you at least a few paintings, but one that came to us as a way of kind of like representing, I don't know if it's going to be shown. Yes. So this is a Banksy painting, and he painted this in 2005. For some reason, Banksy is not, well, for many reasons, he's not on our list of artists that we admire for many reasons. But maybe we can disassociate the fact that his paintings are selling for millions of dollars, and perhaps the initial intention was to speak about the ravages of consumerism. So this painting made the news because a few years ago, not a very long time ago, it sold for $10 million. We researched the latest auction in which this painting was sold, and now it's $14 million, so it's already changing hands. It depicts a scene painted by Monet in his garden, and then Banksy just added shopping carts and cones, traffic cones, that they're sort of like half submerged in the lily pond. He painted this, so this is not a print and that he painted over, or it's not a vintage painting that sometimes he acquires and then paints over. He actually recreated the Monet painting, and very interesting because this is a painting. I'm sorry, a photograph of an image of the painting being auctioned, and you can see the gold frame and the agents or the workers of Sotheby's just handling the painting as if it were a Monet. So maybe in 2005, Banksy wanted to criticize materialism and just do a copy of a Monet, and in which there's a symbol of consumerism dumped in the pond, and how he connected consumerism with environmental degradation, which a lot of like philosophers and intellectuals talk about, this idea that consumerism is directly linked to environmental damage. The more we consume, the more we make this planet inhabitable. But funny enough, this is not the function of this painting right now. It's off his hands, and it's just part of the grinder, the consume grinder, whatever that expression is. That vortex of nihilism that we are all sort of like seem to be falling into. And now it's treated like a Monet. The title of this painting is Give Me the Monet. And this is actually part of a series that he did titled Crude Oils. He did it in 2005, and he showed this painting with other paintings in a gallery in London that had something a little bit controversial. But anyhow, so this is the actual painting, the Monet. It's in Philadelphia, and the Museum of Art of Philadelphia. I forgot the name of the museum. The Philadelphia Museum of Art. Who knows? I don't know. Sorry, that was the. That sounded funny. But yeah, so this is someone took a painting of the Monet painting on the wall, but essentially you can see the original. And on the sales page of Sotheby's, which is hilarious, they not only offer the painting with a frame, Banksy's painting, but they do close-ups of Banksy's painting as if this sort of like brings much more value to the painting. So these are the strokes that Banksy did in 2005. And anyhow, with the cone. So it's not related exactly with what we're going to do, which is go to the free place on Craigslist, choose one image and paint it as a subject. But it's related to this idea of anti-consumerism and how some artists have tried to do this through their paintings. And unfortunately, they've been sort of like eaten up by the system itself. In the same series, I'm going here a little bit on a tangent, but there's another collection. He did recreations of famous paintings. And also he, I forgot the exact expression, but he reused some already painted things. So this is part of like reused series within the series, in which he grabbed either vintage paintings or vintage prints, and then he did paint small things in them. So this is an image of a Madonna. I didn't have time to research the actual painter or the original painter who did this, but in 2005, I don't think iPhones were there yet. No, I don't think so, but we did have iPods, so he just added an iPod to the image, and that's a painted iPod. But maybe one day we'll see this in another auction table or auction place being sold for millions of dollars. And this is another painting from the same series, also Reorganized Oils. This is also kind of like closer to this idea of consumerism, abandoned objects that are damaging the environment, And this is a vintage painting, and he just painted an abandoned car, which we think it's really beautiful and interesting. And finally, one oil that he did recreate was the Van Gogh sunflowers, but instead of copying the exact Van Gogh, so he just copied the pot, and then the flowers are totally wilted and dead. So we haven't seen this painting pop up in auction news, but just keep an eye, because you never know. We always make fun about how sometimes we introduce themes and talk about stuff, and then all of a sudden we see it everywhere. So who knows if this painting is going to pop in some kind of like crazy auction event, and then it's going to be sold for millions of dollars again. So to finalize this presentation, or to end it, rather, we're going to show you a few images that we downloaded from the free section of Craigslist. So this will be a different kind of still life. We did a still life of cluttered corners on our homes, and now we're going to do a still life of objects outside of their context, with no worth, no value, but being appreciated by other people, being transferred, being changed hands. One of the blogs says, in the Craigslist free section, humanity eclipses any plague. This was written a few months ago, but it speaks about the high volume of visits that people or of people on the Craigslist free section, either to dump things that they didn't want to, but they didn't want to actually throw them in the garbage, or people who either started a new life, or they didn't have anything, or they just had to reimagine their environment and they needed free stuff. Let me show you some examples. And these are some images that we downloaded from Craigslist. Right, this is crop. I'm afraid the images are gonna be cropped, but someone's giving away a desk, so this could be a cool image reference. Someone is giving away for free, a couch or a settee. This could be also a good reference. Someone's giving away, let me see, I love this one, tires. The blog post kind of like says, is it true that actually people drive a ton of miles to get what seems to be the most ridiculous used free object? And 100% of the answers are yes. So people do get this, which it's amazing. One of my favorites, there are tons of pictures of free dirt. So if you go to the free section of Craigslist, then you're in the mood to get a handful, or I'm going to make a cheap pun, a truckload of tons of free dirt. Well, there you have it. You totally can get free dirt and then do things with it. And I think we have also smaller objects. There are tons of images of people giving away jars and cans, and also plates and dinnerware and mugs. And we chose this one in particular because we feel it's sort of like accidental Renaissance-like. It's very Vermeer. There's something about the light and the coolness of that highlight that we find highly aesthetic. There are literally hundreds of images on the free section of Craigslist. We're going to encourage you to go to this place where humanity still lives, to go to these kind of like forums, and it could be also on anything that's free on any social media platform that offers an opportunity to exchange free stuff. But we're trying to combine the idea of anti-consumerism, the idea of not owning something, but at the same time just enjoying what we enjoy best, which is painting. So like be ourselves and then use something that has no worth to immortalize on our paintings. And that is, do I have any other images? So no, that is all. So let me just conclude by saying thank you so much for watching this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. The the live webinar is tomorrow. It's $20, but we need to do some transactional stuff here in order to continue working. So it's $20, but it's 3 hours. It's a bargain. So you get to paint with us, and then we provide instruction and we pace the process. We give you things about painting that you probably never heard of and that have tons of value. So and then we dedicate the last hour, the third hour, to exchange, share, give feedback, and provide opportunities to express or give directions to all the in-progress paintings that we have at the end of the 2 hours. So sign up online. We're just going to send an email reminding people as well. We're going to title this series or this collection Free Used. That's going to be the title of the webinar and the title of the collection of paintings that are going to come from this webinar. So we hope you join us, because the more people that paint with us, the more amazing paintings we create and the more happiness we experience, just like seeing everything together. So thank you so much. That's all.